Hey guys, I had an interesting situation today and I've been thinking about it all day and I wanted to share it because I need your help. At the end of church today, church was a little bit long and a little bit difficult, and I've already washed my face and all of those things. So you once again get Hurricane Mommy. But at the end of church, one of the youth leaders, one of the boys' youth leaders, came up to me and said, "Hey, I've already talked to your husband and I wanted to verify with you that you guys were both okay with this. Not this week because we're going to the temple with the youth, but next week, would you guys be willing to come in, you and Brandon and Mason, and teach us about diabetes?" And I was like, "What?" And they said, this is the first time anybody's ever approached me and asked this. They said, "Well, we want Mason to continue to come to all of the activities. And we know that you feel most comfortable with one of the other brethren who is actually a type 1 diabetic being there because he gives shots and he knows all about it. And we know that you feel really comfortable with him being there, but we all want to know what's going on with Mason and how it happened and what we can do to help." And he was like, "I wonder if you could teach us all about the shots, or let's say something bad really does happen and Mason passes out, what do we do?" And I was just standing there staring at him, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm great. That is awesome idea. I would absolutely love to do that." Oh my gosh. My son has this R2 robot, and it just talks randomly. It freaks me out every time when I'm in my office. He puts it in my office to freak me out. This is where he charges it. So I was super, super excited because no one else, I don't know why no one else hasn't approached us saying that they want to know what to do if something were to happen to Mason. Because I kind of wish that the school teachers and things like that would have reached out and said, "Hey, Mason has this new thing going on, and we all want to know, the kids are asking why he's not at school and what is diabetes and all that. Could you come in and give us a crash course and some of his instructions of what to do if they see Mason acting a certain way," or all of that. Nobody's ever reached out to us for that. I could have volunteered, and I could have probably pushed, and I probably could have been invited in that way to come into these classrooms, but honestly, it's been fairly overwhelming, and I haven't had the time to reach out in that way. But today, when someone reached out to me and said, "We love Mason. We want to know more about what's going on with him. We want you to come and teach us and the other kids what to do and how it happened. And we want to know more so that we can connect with Mason." And I swear I'm going to cry right now because I was like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being that kind of a group. Thank you for being men that are in tune with the Spirit enough with these little 12-year-old to 18-year-old boys that understand that kids can be looked at as really different and really weird. And when people don't understand what's really going on, they can get made fun of, even in church situations. Because Mason came home one day from a church activity, and there was another little boy. We were really worried because his blood sugar dropped. Oh no, this was a day where it went really, really, really high. But there had been another day where it had dropped really low, and it freaked us out because it was one of the first times he dropped down to 50, and we didn't know what to do. And it was the beginning of his diagnosis. Well, this little boy, they all went bowling, and Mason's blood sugar was over 250, and it was the first time he was out without me. And we were kind of texting back and forth, and this other brother Pearson, was kind of taking care of Mason for us, and that's great. But on the way home in the van, one of the other kids was like, "Your parents are overprotective." And Mason was like, "Well, yeah, they are." And he's like, "That's not right. They shouldn't be so overprotective." And he wasn't, I don't know if this other boy was actually making fun of him. He's more of a kid that just makes observations, more of an Asperger-y kid, but Mason's like, well, I could die. And he's like, yeah, we all could die. And he's like, Mason says, no, dude, like, really, I could die. Like, if my blood sugar went too high and I can't get it down, I could die. And if it goes too low and I go into a coma, I could die. He goes, my parents are overprotective because they care. And they're still teaching at me. And I was like, wow, what a good answer. Good job, Mason. Because he came home and told me that. I said, well, did that hurt your feelings? It's like, yeah, kind of, but I need that. And he says, I need to know that you guys have my back. And I'm just like, oh, because I've told him that since day one. Since the day he got diagnosed, I looked him straight in the eyes and said, dude, I got your back. I got your back. I'm always going to be watching over you. That's my job as your mom. And for us, that's something, being someone myself who has an autoimmune disease and had it at the same age that Mason's going through this, it is life-altering. I mean, it is nothing you ever expect to happen to you, especially at 12 years old. And it is a whole world of change. There is nothing that is going to be the same, or nothing that he thought was going to be the way it was for his future, because now it's all different. So we've connected time and time again, and he understands that I truly do know what he's going through, and how hard it is, and how it makes you cry, and how it really sucks. But he also knows that I got his back. No matter what. Like, he can sleep sometimes. He's not slept very well since diagnosis, but when he does go to sleep, he knows that I'm the one watching out for him. I'm the one listening for the alarms and to give the shots, and that I'll never not have his back. And for him, he needs that comfort. So when that other kid was like, dude, your parents are too overprotective, he's like, yeah, they are. And it's great. My mom's got my back. And I was pretty proud of him for that. But to have the church leaders reach out to me and Brandon and Mason and say, hey, we want to know what's going on. Not even just a training session, but like, we want to know why it happened and how we can help other people that are going through this, and what to say and what to do. And I was like, absolutely, we will be there. And so in 2 weeks at 6:30 at our church, Mason and Daddy and I are going to try to teach these guys, the kids and adults, and anybody else that wants to know all about his diabetes. It's kind of exciting. I guess what I need to know from you guys is, what questions do you have? I mean, what do you want to know? Besides the fact that we can talk about the math and the shots and all of that stuff, I mean, do you want to know why it happened, or how it happened, or daily life? I want to walk into this knowing some things that I want to talk about, but also allowing other people to ask their questions. So what do you want to know? What do you want to know about type 1 diabetes at 12 years old?